If you hold 1000 XRP, there's a clock running for you right now. The Escrow Clock. In 2017, Ripple locked 55 billion XRP in a vault that nobody, not even Ripple, can raid. Every month, one door opens for $1 billion, then it slams shut again. Holders point at this exact machine whenever everybody asks if 1000 XRP is enough. By the end, you see exactly why. In the next 10 minutes, you'll know how this machine works and what it sets for your stack. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want more XRP news. Let's roll the first tape. You can pull up this page with me. It's XRP scans, balances. This is the live escrow board for the XRP Ledger, not a press release. The actual vault on screen right now. Let's read the totals with me. We have a maximum supply of 100 billion XRP. We have a total of 8 million activated accounts. Total available supply of basically 100 billion. And we have, 14 million XRP burned, and then 32 billion and a half XRP left within the escrow. And here we have a circulating supply, currently 67.5 billion XRP. Anybody on earth can pull this board up any hour of the day. That's the first thing I want you to notice about this clock. And before you ask what it means for your stack, I promise we'll get there. Nothing about this is hidden. Here's the story start to finish. When XRP was created, every coin that will ever exist was created with it. About 100 billion on day one. There's no printing press and no mining. Every coin already exists, and the count only drifts down a tiny bit every time the network gets used. Ripple, the company, started with the biggest pile, and for years the crowd had one loud fear about the pile. What if Ripple dumped it all at once? In plain English, that fear had a name, the flood. And every time the XRP price dipped, somebody dragged that word back out. This is Ripple's own XRP page on the screen. The company we're talking about, Ripple, talking about XRP in its own words. In December of 2027, Ripple answered the fear, not with a promise, but with code. They took 55 billion XRP, over half of every XRP on the planet, and locked it inside the ledger itself. This isn't a bank vault or a piece of paper. That's a time lock written into the same computer system that moves your XRP. Think of it like a deposit box with a timer welded onto the door. The money is real and you can see it through the glass, but the door only opens on the date stamped on the front. Nobody reaches in early, not even Ripple. Once that lock is set, there is no CEO, vote, or lawsuit on earth that opens it early. The schedule just runs. I checked, and I can't name another asset that ever did this to itself. The answer was a lock nobody can pick, set so nobody can dump that pile on you. Remember the number 55 because the clock is built out for it, and I'll show you how right now. That 55 billion wasn't one big lock. It was 55 separate locks of 1 billion XRP each, lined up like doors down a hallway, one door per month, 55 doors when it started, and then relocks keep adding new ones at the back. Every month on schedule, a door opens and a 1 billion XRP becomes available to Ripple. Here's the twist that most people have never heard, and this is the piece that I love. Whatever Ripple doesn't use goes back. Picture the simplest month. A door opens, 1 billion comes loose, and Ripple only needs a piece of it for the business. The rest never touches the market. It gets locked again, a brand new vault at the back of the line, and history says most of it goes back. Month after month, year after year, the biggest share, almost every release has been locked for later. So the scary headline, 1 billion XRP unlocked. The crowd panics over it every single month. And month after month, the machinery has quietly relocked most of it and reset the clock. Hold that picture because I want to show you the actual rulebook. Here we have the XRP Ledger rulebook. This is the rule that makes it real. It's called EscrowCreate, the XRP Ledger's own instructions for building its own time-locked vault. This page isn't marketing, it's the machine's manual and it's public. When people ask me why I trust the schedule, this is why. And hold on, because the number I care about the most is still coming. It's not a company word, it's math with a calendar.
My name is David Schwartz. This is XRP in a minute. How is XRP's utility expanding? Bitcoin got things started by providing a public blockchain that allowed people to hold and transfer Bitcoin. The XRP Ledger followed soon after, providing both a native digital asset similar to Bitcoin, as well as issued assets that could represent things like stablecoins or tokenized assets of any kind. Today, enterprises are using the XRP Ledger to provide tokenized real-world assets. And in the near future, they'll be offering everything from tokenized securities to money market funds, even things like tokenized stocks. And coming soon, we'll see features like tokenized repos and tokenized loans. Enterprises will provide the features that will attract mass retail adoption, where DeFi can truly deliver on its promise of replacing TradFi and providing the financial services that everyone needs.
And David Schwartz wrote this machine. He's been explaining it in public for a decade. You just heard it in his own words. So the supply side runs on a clock. Now the demand side. Here's David Schwartz, Ripple's Chief Technology Officer and one of the original architects of XRP Ledger. This footage is from Ripple's own channel. And David Schwartz has even said, coming soon, we'll see features like tokenized repos, tokenized loans. Enterprises will provide the features that will attract mass retail adoption. Repos and loans in plain English, some of the biggest money products on earth, being built on rails your XRP already rides. Growing demand on one side, a timed supply lock on the other. That collision is this whole story. So, what does the escrow clock actually set for you, the holder with 1000 XRP? 3 things. First, it actually ends the oldest fear in XRP. The biggest pile of XRP on earth sits behind that lock. And you just read the board yourself. The next time the crowd starts screaming about a dump, you know exactly where every one of those coins is sitting. Second, it sets a rhythm. Most traders live headline to headline. They'll sell a red morning and chase a green afternoon. Most of them always will. The clock does the same thing every month in public, on schedule forever. Holding 1000 XRP next to that clock means the biggest XRP holder on the planet now moves on a schedule you can read. You never have to guess what Ripple does next. It's public, it's timed, and I check it every morning with my coffee. Third, this is my favorite. It sets an example. Ripple built a machine to protect the asset from everybody's worst instincts, including its own. The day I recorded this, the XRP price was red. The clock didn't care. It has ticked through crashes, through the lawsuit years, through euphoria, month after month, since January 2018. So here's my question. When you first heard 1 billion XRP unlocks every month, did that sound scary? Or does it sound like armor now? Drop scary or armor in the comments. Tap the like, subscribe, and the notification bell while you're down there. Here's where I land. The escrow clock isn't a price prediction. It's something better. A piece of XRP story nobody can spin because you can read it yourself, straight off the ledger, any day you want. 55 billion locked. $1 a month, 1 billion at a time, most of it relocked again and again by a machine that never gets scared. The crowd will keep panicking every time a door opens. Let them. You've read the board now, and you know who that lock was built to protect. Most people will scroll past this machine their whole lives and never look inside once. You've looked. That already puts you ahead of the crowd. This is only part 1. Next time on the escrow clock, the release calendar itself, which doors open, and how to read the schedule before the crowd does. Long term, I think the market wakes up to what's behind those doors, and the XRP price will never look this quiet again. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.